What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so Black Ops 6 is here. You guys already know what I'm here for. Let's jump right into the best settings for this game. Now, in the display tab, I'm not going to go through all of these in details just because it's really self-explanatory and you should know them by now. The only thing that I'm going to be talking about are like the important ones, like NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. So if you have a CPU bound case or setup, then you're better off using on plus boost. But if you know that it's your GPU that's actually just keeping you from performing at your best, then you're better off using on, just because it's going to be depending more on your CPU instead of drawing all of the power or some of the power from your GPU. So yeah, just search this up if you don't understand. It's kind of hard to explain in like very quickly, but in this case for me, my CPU is, I'd say, not drawing me back as much as my GPU, so I'm going to use on. Make sure that you're using VSync off both for gameplay and menus, and for your custom frame rate limit, you can definitely limit it if you want. For example, you could put 60 while in the main menu, and 300 in gameplay, even though you're not really going to be reaching 300. Well, for me. But yeah, or you could keep it at unlimited. It really doesn't matter. And everything else here is fine. Now, quality, this is the most important part. So this is definitely where I'm going to be slowing down a bit and explaining and letting you guys know what you should be using. So as for the preset, obviously it's going to be changed to custom by default since we're going to be touching a bunch of things. Leave your render resolution at 100. Don't mess with this unless you're really struggling with frame rate. But even then, you're better off using the upscaling and sharpening method rather than touching this. So really leave this at 100. It's a no-brainer. Dynamic resolution off. Same thing, same reasons as render resolution. Yes, it will probably maintain a certain frame rate, but it will potentially reduce the resolution to like 50%. So you really don't want that. It's going to make your game blurry sometimes just because you want to keep a specific frame rate, so it's not worth it. Like I said, you're better off concentrating on upscaling or sharpening in here. Now, probably for 99% of the cases, I would recommend Fidelity FX Cast, just because it's like the best sharpening method. It's very sharp and it doesn't use your it doesn't eat up your frame rate as much, so it's really worth it. I would probably set this at a 75, between 75 to 100. It's really up to you, but 100 can be a little bit too much, but I think it's fine if you're playing at like 1080p. But I guess once you start going into like 2K and 4K, then Fidelity FX Cast at 100 is definitely way too much. But even then, if you're playing at 4K, you're probably better off using NVIDIA DLSS or AMD FSR 3. But yeah, like I said, Fidelity FX Cast for this scenario and for the majority of cases. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation, this is only if you have a 40 series card, graphics card. I don't. I have a 3060, so I can't use this. VRAM scale target, this is going to be at 70 for me, just because I find that in game I don't go beyond 70, so there's no use for me to try to draw out more from my VRAM. So yeah, VRAM scale target at 70 is fine. This will really depend. Go to interface, telemetry, show more, and you can show your processor, not your processor, your VRAM usage. As you guys can see here, and just watch out for the percentage as you play, and yeah, you pretty much can gauge it from there if you need to increase the target or reduce it. If you see that you're stuttering and there's like some hitches here and there, then consider lowering this. And if you see that you're able to bump it up pump it up by increments of like 5, for example, until you start lagging, and then you kind of know where to gauge it exactly. So 70 is perfect for me. Variable rate shading. This has been always good since Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. So yeah, I would recommend this. It definitely has a good technique in terms of improving performance just by like adjusting the visuals a little bit. It's honestly barely noticeable. So yeah. Now texture resolution. There are 2 routes in here. I would either recommend low for super competitive and super just extreme performance. But if you are like me, where the game is, you know, kind of grainy right now, it's kind of blurry, and you kind of favor the visuals over performance right now, you can definitely go to normal. And then maybe once the game starts getting better in terms of performance and in terms of visuals, you can turn it back to low. So low, normal, doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's a huge jump, but not as jump as high, so you're chilling. Texture filter anisotropic. I just like how I view like the textures at certain angles. So high is super important for me. But if this is not important to you and you don't care if the game looks flat, then low. Then everything else is going to be low or off. It's a no-brainer. It's just always been like that for COD, unless you have a super beefy and super, a powerful rig or setup. Then yeah, but otherwise everything needs to be low or off. Just make sure that on-demand texture streaming is at minimal, and you click show more, and you keep this at like the lowest cache size possible. Turn on download limits and put it at 1 gigabyte. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about in the quality tab. We can jump into the view tab. FOV, I just keep it at 110 for now since I'm playing multiplayer. Probably gonna bump it at 120 once I start playing Warzone, but I'm lucky, kind of like an old head now, so 110 is good for me. I don't really care about like 120 FOV in multiplayer, so yeah, everything else is gonna be personal preferences. Well, even FOV is, but I just wanted to, share what FOV to use. I'd say between 100 to 120 is definitely what the majority of people will be using. Make sure to put your camera movement for first person and third person at least. I wish there was a 0, but there isn't one. Huge important settings as well with camera. In the camera section, world motion blur and weapon motion blur. This is just disgusting. Honestly, turn this off unless you're like making YouTube videos for like entertainment. This is just straight garbage. And yeah, I'm also happy that there's a benchmark tool, which I can't use right now because I am in a match. But yeah, anyways, those are my graphic settings. Obviously, I still have to probably fine-tune certain things or probably change a few things, but this is how it looks. Like I said, the biggest difference in the quality section is going to be texture resolution. So from normal to low, I don't know if we're going to be able to see a difference. Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference right now. But definitely gonna help you in terms of stability and performance. So if you feel that you need more FPS, then obviously remove normal and bring it back to low. But my main issue right now is obviously packet burst, which is out of my control. But in terms of performance, I think the game is performing really well right now. Obviously, you still have to probably tweak a few things, and it's awkward. Hold on. There you go. Yeah, tweak and optimize a few things, but otherwise we are chilling. Anyways, you know what you guys think about these settings, and if there's also some things that can help me, just let me know. Secret settings, secret things. I still haven't messed up with the config files, but for now, these are the best settings in game. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and yeah, start grinding, guys. I hope you guys have fun. Ciao, ciao, ciao. I'll see you guys in the next one.